If you find a rabbit nest in your raised bed, cover it back up, mark the spot, keep pets away, and leave that section alone for about a couple of weeks. I'm Grant, Fiona's here, and this is Rude Insect.
First action. Stop working that corner, gently replace the grass, fur, or mulch that was covering the kits, and don't pack soil on top of them.
This is one of those garden moments where you're ready to plant beans or fluff compost, and suddenly the bed has become a tiny wildlife nursery.
And the important distinction is, a nest is not the same problem as rabbits eating your lettuce. The nest is temporary. The snack attacks may still need solving later.
The common garden mistake. The tempting move is to scoop the babies into a box, move them to the fence line, and think, there, I saved them.
Please do not do that. Cottontail nests are often shallow, right in plain soil or mulch, and moving the kits can separate them from the mother. Boring is better here. Put the nest back together and step away.
Boring saves bunnies. That is not a bumper sticker I expected today.
It's accurate, though. In much of North America, these are often cottontails, like eastern cottontails in the eastern and central U.S. They usually do not make deep burrows like European rabbits. They make a shallow depression lined with dry grass and fur pulled from the mother's belly.
So in a raised bed, you might see a soft, round patch of dead grass, straw, leaves, pulled mulch, maybe a little gray-brown fur mixed in, and then tiny kits underneath.
And no adult rabbit sitting there looking responsible. That throws people off.
Right. Because if I found a nest and there was no mother rabbit, I'd be tempted to say, well, she abandoned ship.
You would be overconfident, which is on brand for you. Mother cottontails commonly visit briefly, often around dusk and dawn to nurse. Hanging around the nest all day would basically advertise it to predators.
So no adult nearby does not automatically mean abandoned. If you already uncovered the nest, it's okay to check once, gently. Clean hands or gloves, lift the loose cover, look for movement, then put it back the way it was.
Warm, tucked together, quiet kits are generally a reassuring sign. But if they're cold, injured, covered in fly eggs, crying continuously, or if a cat or dog handled them, that's when you contact a licensed wildlife rehabilitator. Don't try to raise them yourself.
Because baby rabbits are not a weekend craft project.
Exactly. Cottontail kits are difficult to hand rear, and wildlife possession rules vary by state. Good intentions can still cause problems.
Okay, practical raised bed plan. After you cover the nest, mark it without blocking access. A plant label, bamboo stake, or even an upside-down tomato cage set nearby can say, do not kneel here, without sealing the nest off.
And leave room for the mother to get in. Don't put a bucket, box, cloche, or solid cover over it. The kits need air, and the mother needs access.
You can plant around it, though, if you can do that without disturbing the nest, so the whole bed isn't necessarily canceled.
Maybe. If planting around it means your trowel is 6 inches from the nest and you're showering everybody with soil, pause. This is where your seed packet schedule is less important than not turning the bed into a demolition site.
Fiona versus my overly ambitious succession planting calendar. Fiona wins.
Also keep pets out. Dogs and cats are a much bigger immediate danger than the raised bed itself. And avoid watering directly on the nest. If you have drip irrigation several inches away, that's less disruptive than overhead watering.
What about checking every morning, like a nervous garden landlord?
Don't keep opening it. Once is usually enough unless something looks wrong. If you need reassurance, there's the simple string test. In the evening, place 2 thin pieces of string or dry grass in an X over the covered nest. If it's moved by morning and the kits still seem warm and settled, the mother probably visited.
But not courtroom evidence.
Correct. Wind, pets, or other animals can disturb it. It's just better than repeatedly digging into the nest.
The good news is that this usually isn't a long-term garden hostage situation. Cottontails grow fast, so you're generally protecting that spot briefly, not surrendering the raised bed forever.
And once they leave, then you switch jobs. You're no longer protecting kits, you're protecting seedlings. That may mean barriers or other rabbit browsing prevention, but that's a separate decision from handling the nest.
Fiona's 30-second verdict. If a listener finds a rabbit nest in a raised bed, what's the call?
Yes, leave it in place if the kits are warm, uninjured, and tucked in. Maybe intervene only by marking the spot, keeping pets away, and watering around it. No, don't relocate them, because the mother is likely visiting briefly when you aren't watching. If they're injured, cold, fly-covered, crying nonstop, or handled by a pet, contact a licensed wildlife rehabilitator.
If this helped you avoid a tiny garden panic, subscribe to Rude Insect for more practical farming and gardening conversations with a little less drama and a lot more common sense. If this solved the mystery, subscribe for fast answers the next time something weird shows up in your garden.
Thank you for listening to this edition of RudeInsect.com, Conversations with Grant and Fiona.